Good morning, everyone. Now, in the previous lecture, we have discussed about the occurrence of minerals, different modes of occurrence of minerals. Now, today we'll be discussing about their distribution. How are they distributed in India? Now, we all know that our country is rich in mineral resources, but these are not distributed equally. They are distributed unevenly. Like for example, peninsular rocks that contains more of coal and metallic minerals as well as mica and some other non-metallic minerals. Whereas sedimentary rocks on the western and eastern part of the peninsula also contains different type of minerals. If we see Gujarat and Assam, they have more of petroleum deposits. Rajasthan, on the other hand, has reserves of non-ferrous minerals, whereas the alluvial plains of northern India, they are almost devoid of economic minerals. It means they have very less minerals. Now, why this variation? Why don't we have same type of distribution of minerals all over the country? The reason is their formation. So each of them means each physical division were formed under different geological period. So the time which was involved in the formation also differs, and that is why the deposition of minerals also differs from region to region. Now, our next topic is classification of minerals. Basically, minerals are classified into three types: metallic minerals, non-metallic minerals, and energy minerals. Metallic minerals are those minerals that contains metals, whereas non-metallic minerals are those minerals that do not contain metals, and energy minerals are those which are used to produce energy. Now, if we talk about metallic minerals, they are further divided into three categories. First is ferrous minerals. Ferrous means iron, so metallic minerals that contains iron are called as ferrous minerals. Like we have iron ore, manganese. Then we have another category that is of non-ferrous minerals. These are the minerals which do not contain iron. So they might be having other metals but not iron, like copper, lead, bauxite, etc. And the third category belongs to the precious metals, which includes gold, silver, and platinum. Now, let us talk about each of them in detail. We'll be talking about their characteristics and their distribution in India. So, we will first begin with metallic minerals. Under metallic minerals, we'll be talking about ferrous minerals. So ferrous minerals, they are very important minerals because they account about 3/4 of the total value of the production of metallic minerals. It means their share in the total production of the metallic minerals is 3/4, and they are very important for the metallurgical industries. Metallurgical industries are those industries which are involved in smelting and refining of metals. For example, steel industry. So they are very important, and they are a strong base for metallurgical industries. And India is able to produce such a vast quantity of ferrous minerals that we export it in large quantity after fulfilling the need of the country. Now we will be discussing about ferrous minerals. Two of the most important ferrous minerals we will be talking about in detail, and they are iron ore and manganese. So let's begin with iron ore first. It is a basic mineral and the backbone of industrial development. Most of the industries, they are dependent upon iron ore for their development, and we have a large reserves of iron ore in our country. There are basically two types of iron ore found in India. One is magnetite and second is hematite. Magnetite is considered to be the finest iron ore because it contains up to 70% of the iron, and as it has excellent magnetic qualities, it is widely used in electrical industries. Then the second category, that is hematite, it is most important industrial iron ore, widely used in industries. It is not as fine as magnetite because the iron ore content in this is very low, that is around 50 to 60%. Now if we see the production of iron ore in India state-wise in the years 2016-17, it is visible that Orissa was the state that constitute the maximum share of iron ore, that is around 52%, which is followed by Chhattisgarh, that is around 16%, then Karnataka 14%, and then Jharkhand. Now same data is represented in the form of pie chart in your textbook. You can refer that. Let us talk about iron ore belts in India. There are 4 iron ore belts in India. So first iron ore belt is Orissa Jharkhand belt. This is Orissa Jharkhand belt. Now this belt is very famous for high grade of hematite iron ore. There is a mine called Badamfar mine in the district of Mayurbhanj and Kendujhar. We have a Badamfar mines which are very famous for hematite iron ore. Then in Jharkhand we have Singhbhum district, which is also famous for hematite iron ore. Second belt is Durg Bastar Chandrapur belt. It lies in Chhattisgarh and Maharashtra. This is also famous for concentration of high grade hematite. Here the hematite iron ore is found in Baladila Hills. This is Baladila Hills, which is located in Bastar in the district of Chhattisgarh. So here Baladila Hills has a large reserves of iron ore. Now this hill comprises of 14 deposits of super high grade hematite iron ore. Now, and it fulfills the need for steel making. Whatever properties are needed for the manufacturing of steel, it is fulfilled by the iron ore found in Baladila Hills. One more important point about this is that from this Baladila mines, the iron ore is exported to countries like Japan and South Korea through Visakhapatnam port. This is Visakhapatnam port. You can see how closely it is located near Baladila Hills. So it is easy to transport through this port to the countries like Japan and South Korea. Next belt is Bellary Chitradurga Chikmagaluru belt, this region. Now this belt has also large reserves of iron ore. Here the famous mines which are called as Kudremukh mines. This is Kudremukh mines. This is very famous for exporting the iron ore. Whatever is produced here, that goes for export purpose only. It means that it is 100% export unit, and it is known to be the one of the largest in the world. Another important feature is this, that from Kudremukh mines, the iron ore is transported through pipelines in the form of slurries. Slurry means semi-liquid. So in the form of slurry, the iron ore is transported through pipeline through a nearby port, that is Mangaluru port. This is Mangaluru port. So from this port, the iron ore is transported. And the last belt is Maharashtra Goa belt, this region. This is Maharashtra Goa belt. It includes the state of Maharashtra and the district of Ratnagiri in Maharashtra. Now here also iron ore deposits are found, but they are not of very good quality, but then also they are being exploited widely by the people. And the iron ore through this region is also exported through Marmagaon port. Here this is Marmagaon port. So this port, the iron ore is exported. So this is all about iron ore, one of the most important ferrous minerals. Second is manganese, which is again a ferrous mineral. Manganese is widely used for manufacturing of steel. Around 10 kgs of manganese is required to manufacture 1 ton of steel. And it is also used to manufacture bleaching powder, insecticides and paints. Again, the statewide share of manganese in the year 2016-17, Madhya Pradesh was ranking first, then followed by Maharashtra and Orissa. They both share the same percentage. Then Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. Again, the same data is represented in the form of pie diagram in your textbook. Now look at the map here. So the map is showing the states where the iron ore is found. So we have important states like Karnataka, Maharashtra, then MP, Chhattisgarh, Odisha. So the whole region is rich in manganese deposits. So that's all for today. So today we have discussed metallic minerals. Under metallic minerals we have discussed only first category, that is ferrous minerals. Two ferrous minerals we have discussed, iron ore and manganese. Tomorrow we'll be doing another topic. Thank you.